I think when I got here quite a long time, my 8th recruiting signing class now, I think. Back when I went there, I'd sit down and Fletcher Cox and Josh Boyd and Jonathan Banks and Gabe Jackson and tell them, okay, here's a plan that we have in place that can help you become successful. Now I think those guys, they believed in me, and so I mean, I'll always be indebted to those guys for believing in me. But they came in and also believed in our program, believed in our university, came in and bought into what we're doing. And now you're looking at the success that all of these guys are having. So I think that when we go out there and they talk about former players that have been here, you're looking at guys that have degrees, that had great success in college, that had either moving on to have great professional careers in non-football world, and guys having unbelievable professional careers in football. You look at, you get Pernell McPhee, who's the captain of the Chicago Bears. You look at Fletcher Cox from Yazoo, Mississippi. That's apparently on the verge of becoming very wealthy. Man. John Banks, I talked to him last night. He was at the Thorpe Award in Oklahoma City, where he's won that trophy. And I think was T-Buck the last guy from Mississippi to win it. Last Mississippian to win the Thorpe Award. It was kind of a neat deal there. T-Buck had to work, so he couldn't go to the ceremony last night, where they bring a lot of the previous winners back. But I think those young men look and they say, hey, here's these guys from Mississippi, from small towns. They came into this program. Look at all that the success the team's had on the field, but individual successes as well. And I think guys are drawn to that.
I was sitting in here when Jeffrey Simmons made this announcement. I could hear the coaches cheering from in here.
Yeah.
What was it like in that room when the decision was announced?
There was a lot of excitement. He, like I said, he was a guy that we had up at #1 for us all along, and because he fits so well into our program and what we believe in here. To me, really excited to have a young man of that talent coming to play for us, but more importantly, the character. That I truly believe in my heart this is where he belonged. He belonged in our football family, around our players, and it's where he will be the best developed for his future and his career. And so when that happens, there's not just the. I'm not a football at all cost person, I guess. I love developing young men, and when you see a young man make a great decision, which I feel is going to be best for his future, you're really excited about it.
Coach, you mentioned a smaller class, but 3 tight ends in the class. And
Are there?
What was the commitment, I guess, there with?
Yeah.
And how do you see that kind of breaking down from the skill set?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there are. Oh, because I've heard the other guys came in early with one today. But you do. No, I think when you look for us at tight end, one, you look at Gus Wally moving forward, whose career is going to be in doubt because of injury. Then we had a young guy transfer at the tight end position out of the program. So there was kind of a gap in there for us where there's an immediate need at that position. So that was really kind of important for us, especially getting the mid-year guys in when we get them in, the high school guys in mid-year, but also a Jordan Thomas who's going to be a more developed guy, potentially ready to play faster.
On Simmons, is that when you found out, or when did you know that he was leaning towards Mississippi State, or was that the time you knew?
We felt, I felt good for a while, but that doesn't mean anything against him. I thought, as I said, I thought this was the best place for him. And so when you feel that, you feel pretty confident in your abilities to get him. You just hope that the young man views things the same way. Looks at his opportunities, and you look at the type of character he is, the type of person he is, and I view it and look at all the schools and say, hey, this kid fits in the best here, and for his future development. I really felt that. So you feel good about it, but I guess until it happens, you never know.
A lot of the noise, I guess, the perception heading in was that Alabama was kind of taking all the prospects and your targets and whatnot. I guess, how difficult is it to compete with a school like that that's only 90 miles away?
It's tough to beat with everybody in the SEC. You're talking about the best conference in all of college football, and you got some great teams, some great programs, and I think in recruiting there's so many talented players, not just here, but in Alabama and Tennessee and Louisiana. and we're all kind of battling for those same kids. And, you know, I guess in the end, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. And in that way, you just, part to me is, that I look, that's most important is you get the guys that are right for you. The guys that fit your program and that are gonna be, for us, that wanna be developed, that wanna be coached hard, and wanna be much better players when they leave, better players when they leave than when they came.
With a somewhat smallish class now, but a whole bunch of juniors on this roster. I guess you're already working on 2017 class. I mean, what do the numbers look like for that year?
We just finished the numbers this year, so one we get all these guys in. You know, I think some of the numbers fluctuate. You know, one of the ones we'll look at is guys' development. We might have an opportunity to leave early, that can change the numbers, to go to the NFL, or their injury situations can change it. But next year's gonna be a little bigger recruiting class for us, because we did have such a young football team this year. We're gonna have a few more seniors in next year's class, and so be a little bit bigger recruiting class.
Good. All right.